Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing discretionary waivers of Thai visa requirements. We often discuss on this channel the fact that Thai immigration officers often have discretion to basically deny. We often talk about this in the context of denial. If they don't like something or they feel that evidence is insufficient, they'll go ahead and deny or tell someone to come back later, etc. But it's not very often that we discuss discretionary waivers of requirements. And I'm not talking about huge waivers of requirements. For example, someone who's under 50 is, not going to be able to get a waiver for a retirement visa. That's a major segment of the regulations associated with age. But for example, things associated, let's take retirement visas again, things associated with like pensions. If there's documentation, there may be a little bit of a discrepancy. You may get an officer that may sort of just waive that and say, okay, everything is pretty much in order. It's slightly off, but I'm going to go ahead and exercise favorable discretion to just allow that to be extended. Now, it's not a good idea to presume this or to in any way rely or think you can rely on them using discretion in your favor. Never ever do that. That's always a bad idea. Point of this video is to note that it can happen. And for those who are somewhat familiar with the U.S. immigration system, there are what's called I-601 waivers, and a favorable exercise of discretion may result in somebody who's otherwise unable to travel to the United States to be able to ultimately get a visa. Same may be true here, although it's not nearly as formalistic a process as the process in the U.S., but there may be, I've seen it here recently with matters pertaining to finances, especially for those who initially came to Thailand not necessarily thinking they were going to live here, who ended up staying, oftentimes in cases where they got stuck, and there was documentation associated with their pensions or financial evidence didn't quite meet the threshold that they really need to meet, but it was rather minor issues. And yeah, you may be able to see an immigration officer go ahead and exercise discretion favorably or in your favor. So again, don't count on it, but it is possible, and depending on the circumstances, yeah, you might see a situation where an immigration officer rules in your favor.